Good evening and welcome to the Drive at 5 on the IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio station. I'm your host, Roman. We have a great show planned for you today, but first, the forecast from our IntellectualRadio.com Weather Center. Today, a little sprinkle is just like somebody sticking their hand in the water and just flicking it on you on a constant basis. That's how it feels. 52 degrees. Tonight, rain, that means constant rain, actual rain, low 47 degrees. Tuesday, mostly cloudy and becoming windy. Windy City. And you find that kind of interesting during the election that it's going to be windy, right? The Windy City. High 50 degrees. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy and windy again. Low 37 degrees. And the temps are going to plummet like a rock. 37 degrees. Wednesday, sunny and chilly. I didn't say chilly, cold. 39 degrees. And on Friday, sunny, thin clouds, cold. 38 degrees will be the high. The Drive at 5 is part of the new Monday night lineup, starting with a new show called Coming Dateable. Interesting. At 12 p.m. The Great Entrepreneurs at 6 p.m. New Black Leadership at 7 p.m. Dreammakers at 8 p.m. 9 p.m. Chronicles of Ron. And The Raw Checklist at 10 p.m. Also, The Drive at 5 is also part of the fabulous 5 at 5, only on IntellectualRadio.com. The Drive at 5 is also sponsored by Joshua Associates Insurance. Get your insurance because it's needed. Today, my guest is an author of a new book that is creating a buzz throughout the book industry called Essence of Essence. And, you know, my nephew, every time I say in essence, he always say jet. So please give a Drive at 5. Welcome to Aquanetta. Welcome to the Drive.
Thank you.
Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Finally.
Finally. I think I call you Aquanita Baker.
And Quetta.
And Quetta. Okay.
Yeah.
But I got it right this time.
Yeah.
Please give IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio station your background.
My background? Why are you going to tell me? No, I'm just kidding. My background is I basically, right now, it's an author, but I do hold a 9-to-5 job. I've always been administrative assistant. Recently, I wrote my book, which was released in May of this year. Working on becoming a full-time author and retiring for good.
Wow. Just in that short span?
Hopefully. I'm praying that I can.
So what inspired you to become an author?
I've always been an avid reader. So I just decided one day, I've always had like little stories in my head, so I decided to put it on paper. So that's what inspired me. I've always been able to write stories in high school, get straight A's in English, all my English classes. So, and I've always been encouraged to write by my English teacher. So I just gave it a try after all these years.
Did you think about doing something else? Like besides author, have you thought like maybe there's something, another niche that you like?
No,
to
I've
pursue?
always questioned if that was something else that I was supposed to be doing. Everyone seems to have a gift with something that they're good at. So I prayed to God to show me what my gift was. And I just one night, it was late at night, I got up and I just started typing, and it was fun and it was a good flow. So I just did that.
So it was always in you.
It was always in me.
But that moment in time, you just decided to bring it out.
Yeah, and I have a good friend. Her name is Antoinette. She's always told me that I had a good imagination. When we were teenagers, I would always make up like crazy stories, and she said, "Girl, you need to write a book." I'm like, maybe I will one day. So I wrote a book.
So when you made a phone call, you said, "This is what I've done." What was her reaction?
Well, I didn't call her and tell her. It was an announcement. I wanted to see how good it would be first. So I wrote the first 10 chapters out. And on my 45th birthday, I told everyone at the table that I'm starting to write a book and I have my first 10 chapters written and it's pretty good. So that's when she learned that I was writing. And she said, finally.
Well, I think you owe her lunch or something, right?
Yeah, we good.
Well, tell us a little bit about the book, Essence of Essence.
The Essence of Essence is about an interracial relationship with a black girl and a white man. Well, the relationship wasn't, it was based on a bet uh, on his side with him
On
and
the
his
white man's
friends.
side.
On the white man's side with him and his friends. So she came in and she was the chosen one. So her being Afrocentric and everything, they chose her. And the relationship, well, she wasn't really down with dating a white guy, but she thought that she would give it a chance. Well, her sister convinced her to give it a chance, but her sister knew that he had an ulterior motive to dating her. So she sought out to see what his ulterior motive was for dating her sister. But her in her scheme of trying to find out, she got lost and decided to date his friend. So
Who's also
pretty
white.
much, no, his friend is black.
Okay.
But she fell in love with his friend and pretty much told Essence she was on her own. If he was up to something, then she was on her own to find out
But what kind of friend is that?
No, this was her sister.
Well, what kind of sister is that?
Hey, you have to read the book.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, if you're encouraging someone to date someone, to find out there's an alternative, it's like I don't get it.
Well, there was an ulterior motive, and it came out eventually. And but by this time, Rob, which is the character, he had fallen for Essence. And Essence pretty much fell for him as well. But she pretty much knew that there was something behind, he had an agenda. She pretty much knew. So, but
if someone has an agenda, it's kind of like, I know this is a book, but it just, to me, it's, if you know somebody has an agenda, why go there with them?
Well, she didn't seek out to get serious with him. She was just curious because she's never been with the white man before.
I'm curious about a lot of things, but that doesn't mean you pursue it.
Well, she pursued, and it didn't go as far as it was supposed to go, because he fell for her and she fell for him. She loved him, but she felt that he didn't have her best interest at heart. So that's some of it. I don't want to tell the entire book.
What inspired you to come up with this concept in the book? What inspired you to come up with this storyline?
That's a good question. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was just a story in my head. I woke up one night.
But was it like, did you talk to someone that was related?
No, it's not related to anything. It's just things that is common now in society.
Did you see somebody holding hands and said, "What if?"
No.
Nothing? Nothing?
No, it was just a story in my head, and I just wrote it. I just wrote it. Nothing inspired me to write it. It was just a fictional story that I wanted to write, and I wrote it. But it is common.
It is.
It's common.
It's common.
Yes. So yes, I just, okay, well, this is what's going on now. So let me just write a story about it. My own twist and my own turns. So I wrote it. It
So,
was.
so there's something else going on in there.
There's always something going on in my head, but that's good.
Well, reading and hearing the synopsis of your book,
Hmm.
I came to my own because in my head, that's a place that you never want to be in. So to me, the book
Hmm.
is like a tale of Brooklyn
Hmm.
meets jungle fever
Okay.
that meets something new
Okay.
that meets with someone coming to dinner.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
Yeah, guess who's coming to dinner? Well, that was before my time.
Right.
Um, am I far off
No,
by that
no,
analogy?
no. It was just my own. And when I went, it didn't come to mind until we spoke about it on the phone. And you said, "Well, this sounds like something new." And I was like, "Is it?" But basically, no, because she didn't end up with him, and it was he didn't have an ulterior motive for wanting to date her. He basically liked her. Rob, my character, had an agenda for
Mm.
wanting to date Essence. So it was my own little twist and turn to it. So it wasn't based on something new. It was my own story. Not based on me, but my own little fictional story
In your head.
in my head.
No.
Right.
Now, with something new,
Hmm.
which you brought it up, we did discuss it over the
We
phone.
did.
I had some gripes about that. And I'll make it known because I just think sometimes it's like, yeah, I admit I protest the movie because I didn't like it. so
I liked it.
so when you look at something like this,
Hmm.
is it common for a black male to, I mean, nowadays, for a black man to like, how could of all and I know some black women say that
Hmm.
about like some black men dating white women. Like,
Hmm.
you picked that? And it boils down to like, what the hell were you thinking?
We said in our head, but it's
No,
truly to
actually,
each
people
his
said it
own.
said
We
it out
said out loud,
loud.
but we're not supposed to. But I just feel it's to each his own. Like what you're attracted to, I may not be attracted to, and what you might find beautiful, I may not find beautiful. And that's my prerogative. It's my life. So if that's the person that I want to love, why can't I love the person I want to love?
That's true.
And why do I have to love someone based on how you feel or how you view my life should be or who I should date? So yeah, we do say it, but we shouldn't. And maybe who you're dating, you shouldn't be dating because she's the same color as you or the opposite sex of you. I don't know.
Well,
That's just my opinion.
well, this is how, and I'm glad you brought that up because I got a question to prepare for that. So, so I basically said this: black women are now talking about melanin.
Color.
Yeah, color,
Hmm.
melanin,
Hmm.
and have everyone should you can get my melanin type of thing.
Is
Now,
that a new term?
I guess so. So, I mean, what would you say? Well, this is how I view it.
Hmm.
This is my melanin,
Okay.
and damn it, is going to be my melanin, and it's going to stay my melanin, and I decide
Hmm.
my melanin who. If I want my melanin to remain melanin, it's going to remain melanin.
Okay.
So
That's
what if a problem with that, and people say you're not being open minded? Because remember, you said the sister would say you should get a try,
yeah.
and she knew that he had alternative motive, but she knew that she was pro-black.
Yeah, and he was, a
Richard
rich
Cunningham
right. Well,
from Happy Days type of guy.
no, no. He was not
So
Richie Cunningham.
so Rob was not a Richie
He
Cunningham.
was a handsome, debonair, rich white man.
So you're saying he was a white soap opera rich guy.
Yeah. You can use that.
Okay. So why it have taken a sister, meaning a sister, knowing that her sister was down for the people. Why?
Why did it take a sister?
Why? To convince her.
Well, you speaking of my book, right?
Yes, I am.
Well, the bet was because he only dated a specific type of woman, which was the Barbie type girl, and the bet was because his best friends are Hispanic and black, and he wants to know why is it that he doesn't have like something more. But in this, their answer to him was because you date the same type of woman over and over again. Maybe you should try. Well, you would never try dating an Afrocentric or an eccentric Hispanic woman, and that's where the bet came. So that's why she was chosen
without revealing the bet.
Oh, that was the bet.
But how's that a bet?
Among them that he couldn't date outside his race.
But there was no exchange like money, $200.
Oh, it was a money bet. Yes, it was a money bet.
Wow. Essence is very true to her roots. She knows who she is.
Yeah.
And very down to earth to the black cause, the black power thing. However, she fall for somebody that is white, a white male. In today's society, if someone is that Afrocentric and dating someone that is white, reminds me, have you ever watched I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't remember it.
Okay. Well, let me paint the picture. Soldier Boy went into the Black Revolution to get some help. And he walks in there and everything was black. They had bean soda, they had bean pie, everything was black.
Okay.
Now, when his significant other, the children's ran, they was white as snow, and his woman was white, and everything was in the look on Soldier Boy's face was like, what is this? And the Brady Bunch was playing behind the scenes, right?
Okay.
And they was talking about this racist white trash. And he was like, yes. Now, in this book, don't you think, even though the Soldier Boy had that look, like, isn't it a little bit hypocritical? Down for the cause, but with someone that is totally opposite of the cause?
That's a great question. She's not overly that. She's comfortable being black, but she's not out marching and protesting, I'm black. She's not doing any of that. She's actually a working girl who changes her image day and night. She made a 9-5 girl to a pro black girl. She changes her image and she's comfortable with being her and marching to her own beat. Not because you say I should date white or be this way. She is who she is.
But I'm sorry for the pushback here, but I'm going to push back.
Okay.
Why it takes someone to convince someone to date? I mean, why won't you just do it?
Just
It
what they.
just date the white guy. If you're having, let's say,
Mhm.
someone, this is my ideology. If
Mhm.
if you have someone to convince you,
Mhm.
then it shouldn't be no convincing.
Meaning her sister.
Right. Because her sister shouldn't talk anyway, right?
Well, she convinced her to do it because she wanted to do it because it had been a while since she dated anyone.
Is it because of loneliness?
No, because of her career, working, and going to school. So it was her own decision at the end of the day. Her sister, yeah, she might have nudged her a little bit, but it was her decision at the end of the day to do this.
And she was comfortable with
She
that.
was comfortable with it,
But
yes.
did she went back and forth because
Kind of, sort of, because there were like hiccups along the way with other people having problems with it, like her, like his mom and dad, and but he was comfortable with her, and he wanted her to become comfortable, more comfortable with them, the idea of them being together. So at the end, it was, I don't want to tell my entire book.
okay, my bad. I'm sorry. It, Essence is sort of in a trap love story,
It is, yes,
and it's like a love triangle
yes,
because she dated someone that was black
yes. Before,
before she dated
yes,
someone that
she
was
did.
white. Now,
Actually, he was our first love.
right.
Mhm,
So, without revealing what happened,
mhm,
what really kind of say, I don't want to deal with this brother again. Because this is how brothers feel.
mhm.
If, let's say, for example, you're married to a black man.
Yes, he's black.
Okay. Okay. Now, you're in, this is how a brother's, when you date someone
Mhm.
and it's a sister, and lo and behold, you break up, and then turn around, they date somebody white,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like, brother, what did you do to I mean,
Who
that
said this?
right.
No,
What
I'm
what
just-
what did you do to prevent her to go opposite? What did, because a
Mhm,
lot of people, and that goes for guys too.
mhm,
Because a lot of guys sit there and they say, you know what, I'm just tired of black women's games. I'm just tired
mhm,
of it.
mhm.
So I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, we say the same thing.
Yeah. So what is that pivotal moment that says, you know what, that's it?
I don't.
Or give it a try.
I think is. I don't think is the color. The I really don't think is base. I'm gonna just forget black men and go get a white man. I think is once you've gone through so much over and over again, and then you meet someone who treats you the way you want to be treated, then that's what that makes the difference. Like, okay, do I want to go back to you know what, or do I want to stay with sugar? Someone who's treating me the way I want to be treated. And why does it have to be based on color?
Well, there's a difference between brown sugar and white sugar.
Okay. I don't think so. I've had brown sugar, black sugar. So, and I have light sugar. My husband's black, but I consider him light sugar.
So you put the brown sugar into the white sugar and you mix it up and it
Yep,
becomes
yep,
a,
yep, yep.
okay.
That's what he is.
But some people, like you said in Rob's scenario here,
Hmm.
in order for me to feel complete, I never dated a black woman.
Hmm.
I never dated a Hispanic woman.
Right.
I never dated a white woman or an Asian woman
No, he
or,
never dated. He dated white women. That's the only thing he dated.
yeah, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is
Mhm.
to feel complete. To
Well,
feel complete. I mean, and same thing for Essence. She dated black into this
mhm,
point.
mhm.
he dated white until
This
this
point.
point.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is, without, in order to feel complete as a whole,
Mhm.
it was a bet.
It was a bet. But it wasn't, he wasn't looking for at that time. It was just a bet. It was just a bet. And it wasn't, he had no expectations on feeling like that for her.
But when
So
was the downward spiral, like, I'm going to give this a month or 2 months, and then, because when it's a bet, you got to have an end period without revealing too
right,
much.
right.
What was that?
See, I'm revealing too much. The down once he, I think it was a date or two, when he realized that
Ended.
he didn't want to further the bet because he liked her and he knew he ran the risk of losing her if she found out that she was the um the bet. She was based, him dating her was based on the bet. So that's when it all pretty much spiraled down once she found out.
Now, do you think a white woman or a white man understand a black person fight? And the reason why they might get upset if something racism happened
hmm
and they can't talk about it because they're with the white person. It's kind of like, if,
Repeat that question.
okay, what I'm saying is this. You know how something is going wrong. A lot of racism is going on.
Yeah.
And Thanksgiving is coming up. Awkward moments.
Yeah.
And they say don't talk about politics.
Please don't. Religion or politics.
Now, let's say Essence bring this white man home
hmm
for Thanksgiving. They're going to be the topic.
Of course.
And knowing that the situation is dire now because a whole bunch of racism incidents have gone and occurred. What I'm saying to you is this. What? This is better than the book?
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. What I'm saying is some topics you just stand clear.
Yeah.
When you're in a racial relationship,
hmm
how can a person such as a black woman, you have an opposite opinion? Give you a prime example, OJ.
Mm.
And a lot of blacks at the time thought he was innocent. A lot of whites. No, I'm just saying. And a lot of,
We just wanted him to get away with murder.
but a lot of
hmm
whites thought he was guilty.
hmm
And when the verdict came out, whites thought he got away. Blacks thought justice was served.
Yeah.
When you have those type of conversations, I'm using that as an example.
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah.
Do you find it hard when as an author, as you put stories together,
hmm
you look at the whole dynamic of the situation? Because in this book it seems like, and it sounds like, you put the whole dynamic, like, topics in there
Yeah.
that basically makes you want to think.
hmm
And it goes a little bit further to some of the racial tones or overtones without even saying the racial tones or overtones in a book. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to read the book, and I did mention it, not OJ, of course. But no, yeah, I did mention like questions that come up if you're dating a white guy or vice versa from his family's viewpoint and from his family's friends' viewpoint. their questions regarding him dating Essence, and like crazy questions as far as her hair, them touching their hair, and it's yeah. But did I go off key about your, because that was a long question.
What I was saying in essence
Mhm.
is when you're dealing with Afrocentric women,
Mhm.
it doesn't take far to point out racial
Yeah.
tones,
Right.
racial this, and you're dating something opposite of that.
Mhm.
Do you be careful of talking about those type of subjects? If kind of like, let's say if I was a white host
Mhm.
and I asked you the same type of questions, would you get defensive about it?
No.
Or if I touch your hair and say, "What is this?" What?
It all depends on who touches it. But no. No, but no, it's I don't know.
You don't
You
know.
you're going pretty deep. I didn't think the book was that deep. My God.
It is.
Wow.
I know, right? When we come back on the Drive at 5 on IntellectualRadio.com, more with the author of Essence, Aqua Netta Baker. See, said it right.
Yeah.
We're back on the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com slash iHeart radio station. To my left, we have author of Essence, Aquanetta Baker. Welcome to the Drive.
Thank you.
Now, we was discussing interracial
Mhm.
dating and the topics that may occur,
Okay.
and going a little bit deeper and deeper into
Ooh,
the
you
book.
going deeper?
Well, we can, but after
Okay.
thinking of this and having a conversation
Mhm.
offline, it made me think of other stuff.
Okay. What?
Well, I told you it's a dark place in my head, so you thought I was kidding, huh? Do you think Hollywood is portraying a black male as being weak? And I'm going somewhere with this.
Mhm.
As an example, Wakanda.
Mm.
The king had a love interest. However, there was never a kissing scene. There was never
There
there
was.
was never a kissing scene.
I did see them
There
kiss.
there was not a kissing
I
scene.
remember
I
them
watched it over.
kissing.
There was no affection of love that portrayed a strong black man in society.
Mhm.
Do you think society is ashamed of black love?
No,
Why?
I don't think so. We have black love all around us in Hollywood.
But do you think it's a front? Do you think it's being pictured in the movies? Do you think
It's
it's
it's not. I mean, which is why we flock so much to the movies when we do see black on Black love like that. We flock to the movie theaters to see it because it's not common. We always see like white love stories. And I'm guilty. It's one of my guilty pleasures, Hallmark. I
I
watch
knew
it all the
something
time.
about that book. Written Hallmark all over it. You watch those Christmas movies, right?
I do. I love those stories. I don't know why, but I do love them. But I do watch. I don't know. Sometimes I do watch the love stories, but if it's so like,
Cliches.
yeah, I can't watch it. I don't know why, but I do watch like Morris Chestnut or someone like that. If Will Smith, if they have a little love story, I'll watch it.
Someone, an author like yourself,
Hmm.
this could be, the book can be made into a movie.
I hope so.
No, or even I would say it can be a play, or
Hmm.
it could be a television miniseries or something
Right.
like that. When you was writing this,
Mm. Who did I see?
who did you, yeah, who you envision of being Essence, Rob? Who did you see as, did you envision this big outpouring of support while writing this? Or if it was, I'm just going to tell the story, because if you look at
Hmm.
the illustration, it screams, open me, I'm more.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
You know what? I just had this discussion like maybe 2 weeks ago with my daughter's boyfriend. And he actually said, this is who you should get to play this, that part, that part. But I never had a visual as to who I thought should play the part of Essence or Rob. And I didn't. I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
Explain the phenomenon of your book.
The phenomena.
Yeah, of your book. Like, people are buying it.
Yeah, people
People
have bought
people
it.
people have
People have
told you
came. Yeah.
about the story, and they relate some of the stories that
Hmm.
in relationships they have been through from time to time.
To
So,
me,
yes, to you on your
no.
Facebook page.
Oh yeah,
See,
yeah,
thought I didn't
yeah.
do that. Huh?
They have. I have had a lot of support from a lot of family, a lot of friends, a lot of my Dunbar family came out to support me and bought the book. And not only did they buy the book, they read the book, they loved the book, and now they're looking for part two.
Is
So
there a part two?
I have chapter one written already.
Okay.
Yes, there is a part
Is
two
there a
coming because
teaser that can give us a little bit more, a teaser of part two?
a teaser. Hmm, it's it's a big surprise. I don't know if she. I don't know. I don't know. Will she pick Rob? Will she pick? I don't know. Maybe there's someone else. I don't know. I don't want to give too much out. But yeah, I have chapter one written and I plan to put chapter one in back of my second book. So,
There was this question,
mhm.
and as a person that has a creative vision, let's say this goes into film,
Ooh.
and let's say it goes into film.
Hmm.
Let's say part one and part two.
That sounds real nice. Speak
Uh,
on it.
well, when you make it, please come back to the
Okay,
drive,
I will.
okay?
I will. I
All
will.
right. There was a question that was raised on social media.
Hmm.
Why Black women or males who are in leading roles,
Hmm.
goes back to the Hollywood perspective of things, of love interests and love stories, that they don't request a Black male or a Black female
Hmm.
as their love interest. It's always have to be someone opposite
Hmm.
of them. Can
Right.
you elaborate a little bit on that, and to kind of like say like,
Mhm.
the perspective of a visionary?
Mhm. I don't know why. Why is that? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. They Will Smith. He asked for white. He has white counterparts, actresses as lovers, and even Denzel Washington. So I don't know. Why is that?
I mean, is it like sometimes you can stipulate in your contract, if you want me in this movie, because I
I think you're
remember.
just trying to put the most attractive people together. And sometimes, I don't know, maybe Hollywood doesn't see black as attractive or beautiful. So I don't know.
What is love interest, and define love interest to your advantage.
Mhm.
Define love interest and how, because essence is trapped in a love interest. And sometimes people don't know what love is. Remember, there was
Mhm.
a song called "I Want to Know What Love
Yeah,
Is."
yeah, I know that song. Love interest. I think it's just someone who captures your heart, your soul, and I don't know, you just see yourself just doing any and everything with them, and there's no limitations as to what you two can be together. And to me, that's a love interest. Like who you're attracted to, that person, something that you've never experienced with anyone else. And they just hold, I don't know, it seems like they hold the key to your heart. And that's the person that you think of maybe 24/7, and you just can't wait to be near them and smell them. And let me stop. I'll
Wow,
stop.
even Earl kind of batted a lash on that one. When you're talking about smelling something.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So I I always think love interest.
Hmm.
It You can connect. A lot of people say you got to have that connection.
Connect. You're right. That too.
Now,
Yes.
here's the thing with your book.
Hmm.
When Essence dated the black
Hmm.
boy, I didn't know his name. So, um, however,
I have to
don't
think.
don't
Yeah.
worry about it. It was not really a connection.
His name is Lance.
Lance, okay,
Yeah.
Lance, okay.
Hmm.
But when she started dating Rob, there was an instant connection. That's what I was saying.
Now,
Define the love or love interest. And it's
okay.
kind of like, how can you define a connection? We can have a great conversation like we're having a great conversation now, I
Hmm.
believe.
Okay. Let me
Okay.
say this. She felt she had a connection with him, but he made her he made her feel insecure about
Which one we're talking about?
Lance. We're
Lance, the
speaking of
black man.
Lance.
Okay.
She's comfortable with herself. He was uncomfortable with her image. He liked the other image that she had, which was her
The nine
hair.
to five.
Yes, that's what he liked. And he wasn't comfortable with the afro, or and it made her uncomfortable. So she felt it was better that he find someone that was more to his liking, because she didn't want to change who she was to please him. She was happy with the person that she was. So,
When you get to a point in a relationship, they always say there's a give and take in a
mhm.
relationship. Do you think Lance was just always a taker, meaning that you have to change? I don't need to change because
Mhm.
I'm good.
Mm.
But you need to change. You need to change this, and this. And she was like, okay.
No, I think that sometimes relationships, period, I don't care if this is the love of your life. Is I think it's rare that you find someone who loves everything about you and willing to compromise on everything. But majority of the time I think it could be a little one-sided. You can take advantage of someone and um you want things your way. So you say things and you do things to make them feel insecure to in order to make them compromise, feel like, okay, if I change, then I'm compromising for him. Meaning it's like a little trick that they're playing on you. But that's
Like psychology.
yeah, exactly. So
So it's kind of like this. Let's say, give you a prime example.
you can use me as an example. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's say you're at a coffee shop with somebody and your husband walks by and see you at the window. You're all googly eyed and and laughing and all that stuff.
Right.
And he's like, what kind of soul train bull crap is going on?
Mm-hmm. Soul train.
And you're like, but I was just a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I believe when it comes down to relationship, it is, well, I only can talk about the women perspective.
Mm-hmm. You can only talk about the women's perspective?
Yeah, meaning my situation, my dealing women perspective.
Okay.
When they say friend, you have to define friend because there's different levels of friends now.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally a lot of people would say, I'm not a liar, but you disguise the lie to make sure you're not a liar.
Right.
And I'll give you a prime example. I'm going out with a friend.
Okay.
Oh, you normally say okay, but you're thinking you're hanging out with your boy.
No.
Really. Hold on. You're thinking you're hanging out with your boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you said friend. You're hanging out with a friend, but in their head, oh, I got a green light because he never said what type of friend.
Mm-hmm.
He never said the sex of the friend. Mm-hmm. And never basically did an interrogation of that friend. So in their eyes, not saying that's in the book, but in their eyes, they're saying, I can get away with this.
That's just being dishonest and lying. I mean, why can't your husband know or your wife know, oh, okay, so-and-so is my friends. Like my husband, he knows all of my friends. They've been to my house. And I know his friends. Well, a lot of them are his work buddies, but we have this thing called trust. You have to trust one another. So when it gets to that point where, okay, I'm gonna lie and say I'm going here and there with so and so, I don't know. I think things come out the closet when you start lying anyway.
So when Rob started lying to Essence.
He only told that one lie.
But that was a major lie. It was a false
It set
lie.
the tone for the relationship. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So why would anyone consider
dating
someone that starts off wrong foot?
Well,
I mean, looks is, I mean, there are some women that will look at a man and say, he'll get it. And I'm like saying to myself, and you're saying this in front of a man.
Oh, really?
Right.
And that's what you say with your girls. You don't say that in front of another guy, with another guy, to the guy.
Right. But there's the perception. That's what I'm saying. The perception is basically with Rob and in Essence, it was really based on a lie and a falsehood, not really about the connection. Even though they had a connection, it was based on a lie.
Basically, yeah.
And now Rob wants out of that lie because he really enjoyed the connection. And then this brother Lance be like, wait a minute. Hold on. Am I right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you are right. Yes.
So, what you want people to get out of this book?
It's just a nice little read. It's fun and it's a great book. I want them to walk away with well, my brother told me he had a little of everything, like real life. It was like, yeah, it was fiction, but it was real life. It's happening now, like interracial relationships and uh line and trust, and it has a little bit of everything. But I want them to walk away with knowing that Essence was true to who she was, and she wasn't gonna let anyone define her. She walked her own walk and did her own thing, and that's what they loved about the character.
How can people get a hold of you?
How can they get a hold of me?
Yeah.
Call me. No, I'm just kidding. No.
You put it out there. I didn't.
No, I can be reached at loveis1970 at yahoo.com. Yeah. Or FaceTime me, Aquanetta.Baker. Aquanetta, no, yeah. Aquanetta.
I don't
Aquanetta
know.
Baker. I'm giving my other email address out, but I prefer loveis1970 at yahoo.com, or you can not FaceTime me, but Facebook me.
Okay, can you spell your name?
Aquanetta, Aquanetta Baker, Baker. Did I do it right?
You know your own spelling.
I'm still nervous. So. Yes,
okay.
But yeah, I prefer email. Loveis1970 at yahoo.com. And if they want to get the book, it's available on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon.com.
Okay. Now, with all our authors that comes on the Drive at 5 and other IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio shows, we have this feature called Black Products and Black Services.
Okay.
And what that entails is you can advertise your book totally free. It's a sister Facebook page, courtesy of IntellectualRadio.com, that you can advertise your book for free.
Nice.
To let people know. So, since you were a guest on my show,
thank you.
That offer is made to you, courtesy of our executive producer, Earl Winfrey.
Hi, Earl.
And Wanda.
Hi, Wanda.
So, we'll hook you up after the show. Okay.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for us on the Drive at 5 on IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio station. Thanks to Earl Winfrey, our executive producer, Wanda, who's behind the scenes. You guys have a great week.
Thank you, guys.
can see me. No playing, girl, believe me. I mean it, I mean it. Oh. Let go, don't let it go, don't let it go. Let go, don't let you, don't let it go. Let go, don't let you, don't let you go. Let go, let go, don't let it, don't let it go. Let go, don't let you, don't let it go. Let go, don't let you, don't let you go. Let go. You're telling me that you're nervous. Will it last? No discernment. But you don't care cause you all in. I'm all in. We all in. I've been where you can see me. Through ups and downs, believe me. Not moving, believing. I'm not gonna leave. Let go, don't let it, don't let it go. Let go, don't let you, don't let you go. Let go, don't let you, don't let you go. Let go,